I can imagine a world where like funds were put into community hubs around Sydney, for example, that I think we used to have a lot more of. If speaking from personal experience, like 5 of our last studios have all been turned into real estate, like apartments. And it's like, so we're
5?
The last 5 studios we have had are now apartments. So it's like, we're not just losing financial buffer, but we're losing the communities that make things happen. And I think being around community and in music and connecting all of those people together is great for people to get jobs. And I think the right people will make the right moves with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be people that are using it for,
of course,
the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like everything. Hello and welcome to Music Bible, the place where we peek inside the brains of those shaping Australian music, from up-and-comers to iconic artists and beyond. I'm your host, Jackson Langford, and today I am here with Jack and Alex from Sydney trio Mansionair. How are you both?
Good.
Yeah, happy day.
Yes.
Just good, not great?
Where do we fit on that spectrum of up-and-comers and iconic? We're like...
I would say you're iconic.
Right.
Iconic.
Yeah.
You're iconic to me.
That's great.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Good
iconic
start.
enough that they're here on this podcast to discuss their music, the Australian music scene in general, and whether a basic income for artists would help them all.
Oh, huge.
Yeah, so
Is this happening today?
Yeah.
surprise. But Jack and Alex, I have a question for you both. Same question we lead off every episode of this podcast with. What was the first memory either of you have falling in love with an Australian artist or Australian music?
Mine was probably... I think probably one of my parents just gave me like a John Butler
Nice.
CD or something. I'm sure it was probably Zebra. I can imagine being a little kid just going around, just, I can imagine that. So yeah.
And you're still with the trio at that point.
Yeah, it was a yeah.
What about you?
I'm thinking Australian, it probably would have had to be Angus and Julia Stone.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That feels like quite like new.
Well, yeah, because
What song?
probably like a book like this, the album.
Okay,
I'd say, or like Mango Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like the poster boy swag in school, so like
Fair.
it was pretty on brand.
Yeah. Surely you've rubbed shoulders with Angus and Julia Stone. Who met
Yeah,
them?
actually, where I grew up, there was this like market that happened in November every year. And one of my buddies that I went to school with was like, "Oh, I'm going to introduce you to Angus. It's going to be great." And we met, and I was super young and just like super green. Obviously wasn't making music professionally in any instance of the word. But yeah, I met him outside a garage of his friend's place, and we've not actually.
That sounds like the place you would run into Angus Stone.
It was pretty.
Coming to a garage near you.
Yeah.
The garage tour.
Yeah.
But we've crossed paths over the years, but I've never told him that. So, yeah.
Angus, if you're watching.
Yeah. Come on in.
You know now. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got him. No. Now let's talk about Some Kind of Alchemy. Third album, which actually is crazy.
Yeah.
Does it feel crazy to have 3 albums out?
It feels.
Or does it feel correct?
It feels like a little bit of business as usual, but a little bit of like, this is really fun because we know who we are.
Yeah, it feels
Yeah.
no one can say we're not a proper band now. 3 albums,
I hope not.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said you're iconic. You can't be an up-and-comer.
Yeah, I guess.
You got
Yeah.
3 bloody albums out.
Yeah,
Jesus. Did you dive a little deeper into like the strengths that you realized that you shared, but also some of the frustrations you had to overcome while working on this record?
Yeah, I mean, the same things are always true every time you collaborate or make music. I mean, particularly in our instance, like, I think what makes a great collaboration is like when people agree on things like strongly, but also strongly disagree on things. Because I think that's kind of, and I guess in a way, like maybe what pulled the album together was this idea of like alchemy in kind of a way is like putting 2 things together.
Hence the
And
title.
it's like full circle. We're so smart. But I think, I mean, particular strengths and stuff. But like I would always say, like it's so nice collaborating with people because you don't have to like. If I'm like Alex, what is this lyric meant to be? And sometimes you're like this, and I'm like,
yeah, you already got it, mate.
which is a really nice thing. And I'm sure I provide the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is nice to just someone just that one step removed where you're kind of like zoning in on your, speciality, and they're just like, oh, what about that thing? Oh, yes, that's good. Let's move on. I feel like that is kind of collaboration at its peak, is just them being like, yep, you've done the thing that you've set out to do. Sounds great. Like approved kind of thing.
Well, I guess there's the collaboration between the three of you, obviously, but how does that extend when you're collaborating with other artists? And I don't just mean like songwriters or people in the room with you, but like when you're on a track with Odessa, when you're on a Grammy-nominated track with Odessa.
That's what I go to bed doing that.
As you bloody well should.
Yeah.
Do you sort of still operate as like your individual selves creatively, or are you trying to like think about what's best for the band when you're working with another artist, if that makes sense?
I think it would be a miss to say that you're not considering the other artists and what they are bringing to a track and wanting to like not mess with their thing, but also put your mark, because like there's an essence of putting your artistry onto something that you want to like add. You want to add value, and two, like be proud of that thing creatively. I mean, with Odessa, it was like we were so surprised, to be honest, that we were like, oh my God, look at this email in our inbox. We like met up and had coffee in LA when we had finished a writing retreat. And it's one of those things where you're like, are we ready for this? Are we allowed to do this? And like, that kind of like wanting to respect them and what they're doing, but also go like, we can contribute too. It's that imposter syndrome thing that...
Right, but I was going to say, but I feel like the receipt of the email in the first place confirms that you must be ready for it.
I guess so.
Yeah, they reached out to us.
Well, I mean, if we go back to sort of some kind of album, it also represents your first release, correct me if I'm correct, under a major label.
It is.
What made that time of your life the right time to sort of accept a deal like this? And I guess, could you potentially share a perk of having a major label backing that's not like obvious to fans? Because obviously it's like, well, major label has more funds, there's more resources, but is there any other like benefits that you weren't expecting?
It's a little basic, but just like the team, the size of the team, it's a little bit lame, but just like more friends, like in
that's
that.
Not lame. That's adorable.
Yeah, sorry, adorable. That's what I meant. It's a little adorable, but just kind of like building the team of support around you. Less about like, oh, they're a big player and they can get all the resources. More like, big in the sense of you've just got more people supporting you and kind of there to kind of bounce ideas off and just flow in and out of the project and stuff.
Did it make the writing on the release of the album any less stressful than the previous two?
I think what we did this time around was we wrote the record. We essentially funded the record ourselves and like made predominantly most of the creative decisions as far as like what we wanted.
When did we finish writing the record?
End of last year, December 2024. Sorry, December 2024.
Yeah. Time is an illusion. Nothing's real. Yeah,
and we obviously shaped and collaborated with the label on a lot of the marketing strategies and like what song would be the single. But I think what changed for us, and I think was just vital advice that we had received over the last couple of years, was we were like, we feel like we know who we are and we want to show the audience this is who Mansionair is, and we want a label that can see that.
Of course.
And so it felt like we were coming to the table as equals, and obviously it was epic to like have them be excited about it.
Yeah.
But I think maybe in the past, some previous records, we'd been like, oh, we have to deliver a record because someone's asking for it.
Right.
Whereas this was like, we have a record. Does anyone want to be involved? And that was a really fun way to do it.
Yeah, and they can come in with energy and excitement, but haven't kind of had the baggage of like of the writing for 2 years. Like if someone's in that process, that's great, and that's a kind of like a different kind of experience. But this was just like, kind of just like, here it is, let's party, like, let's go kind of thing.
Party in a Mansionair sense too.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
We'll get to the type of parties you guys throw.
Yeah.
But, it's been over a decade since you guys broke out with Hold Me Down, which still, I would say, has aged really well. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Dare I say it was ahead of its time?
Whoa, iconic. Breakout and iconic.
We planned all of that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Look, it's all on the vision board.
Yeah.
You were obviously able to strike something magical with that song, and I think you did the same thing with like Astronauts. So you've been able to capture lightning a few times in your career. That's like been able to have people really have like a Mansionair moment, shall I say? Do you ever like look back to those sort of moments in your career where you've realized, oh, this song's like really taken off? I mean, even with the Jessica Lab or like Lose Yourself Again, even like, do you ever like use those songs as reference points when writing new material? Or do you just like discard? You're like, no, that's the old me.
I think
maybe Easier is the only one we've kind of gone back and referenced, like in terms of, we really captured something there. But yeah, I feel like we don't dwell too much on it.
Yeah.
Do you think that would hold you back if you did creatively?
Yeah, it's just slightly less, because we are who we are now, not who we are back then. So it's kind of like, even though those successes we're super proud of, it's a little bit, I just think we always want to move forward. As most artists want to move forward. It's not a negative. It's just, I think it's more fun.
Well, yeah,
pushing
also, you
forward.
can't evolve if you're always like referencing.
Yeah.
I think as well, it is just part of the process of the reason we found Easier as a song was because we just constantly showed up and we're like, let's just keep writing and keep trying to be, like it really is that. I don't know if we have time for this quick little thing, but someone explained to me it's something about like the brown water, the outdoor tap. I think it was in the Ed Sheeran documentary about songwriting where like you go outside and you turn the outdoor tap on for a little bit and it's like dirty water and you turn it off because you're like, that's gross. And then you go out again and you turn it back on and you leave it on and a little bit of clean water comes out.
Right.
But it's still a little bit of dirty. That to me is like the process of writing songs is like, and something that I think maybe we've just gotten better at through working with heaps of people and working with each other is that we just try not to turn the tap off because you can kind of be like, oh, this is a song, we like this. And then you have enough of them and people are like, all right, let's cherry pick.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of not turning the tap off in your creativity, I just want to touch on something that I found really exciting. These rooftop sets that you guys did, one of? Is that only on one so far?
We've done one and we've done another.
Cool, that's my question. Can we do more, please?
Yes.
And if we provide a rooftop, will you guys come?
100%.
That is actually
Our producer heard that. We provide the rooftop or the terrace.
The only thing we don't have rooftops.
Wonderful. This has been a wonderful business meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we could talk about it. We shot one on a boat.
That's cool.
Yeah, my friend had a boat. Has a boat.
The rooftop
of the boat sank.
Well, there's a story attached to that. We can get more into that later.
Oh God. Party too hard.
No, it was pre-planned
too hard. we did a practice lap before we kind of picked up the willing participants.
Whereabouts on the boat were you performing?
We're at the back.
Okay.
But this all happened kind of like we did the practice lap just to test kind of everything and work out where we were going to go. And then we kind of got back, people arrived, kind of docked, and then the old captain kind of like cut his hand open while trying to fix the motor. So we did a quick trip to the ER.
Alex drove the captain
to
the hospital.
The boys started the set and then I kind of came in halfway.
What?
It all worked out.
There's a great moment during the take too, where like we're like me and Locke and a couple of our friends were just like, let's just drink beers and mix. Like we can't all go to the hospital. Like some of us have to have fun.
Alex, you handle that.
And there's this great moment where our buddy Jake, the captain, like comes back on the boat. But the crazy thing is that we weren't.
Sorry, that wasn't the crazy part.
Okay, another crazy thing was that like none of us had our boat license. We'd had a couple of beers at that point. So everyone back on the boat was like, we were docked at this place in Rushcutters Bay. like that we weren't really meant to be staying on.
Right.
And we were like, what happens?
No one can move the
what
boat,
happens
yeah.
if like our captain doesn't come back? Where's this boat gonna go?
Guess we live here now.
So it was
Well,
fun.
and you've come directly from that boat to this recording, I've heard.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the sun
The dedication,
skin.
I appreciate.
Yeah.
Jack, Alex, Mansionair, are you ready to get sidetracked?
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it hasn't happened enough this podcast.
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
All right. Ireland. Are we familiar?
Yes.
Cool. Has now made a basic income scheme permanent for musicians. I'm assuming you're across this. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
I didn't.
It's a weekly stipend of about €325, which equates to like just under 600 Australian dollars for musicians. So it's basically a government-supported, taxpayer-funded stipend for musicians and creatives. Do you think the same thing could work in Australia?
100%.
Love.
The thought of being able to make creative expression without the risk of not being able to pay your rent is so great for like the music community.
Yeah.
Even if the music sucks.
I feel like it would be better because you wouldn't be stressing about, you know, half doing a job over here or just thinking about that. You could just fully dive into the art side, and then that would surely just make art better across the board.
Well, I have some stats.
Oh,
Ooh, here we go.
Back up
Uh-oh.
exactly what you were saying.
Oh, great. Well done. 10 points.
Mental health improved by artists in Ireland, but also productivity
Yeah,
improved. And I believe the stat is for every €1 that was spent providing the stipend, society in whatever way got €1.39 back.
Nice.
So there was
Very good.
also a profit.
Whoa.
But there's lots of talks about sort of where the Australian music industry is going and how can we sort of help uplift Australian artists. Does that responsibility lie on the government?
I am not a political advisor in any sense of the word or policy, but
You're not? Okay.
no,
Yeah,
clearly not.
yeah.
Just grading my qualifications for this topic. But no, what was the question? Does it?
Do you think the government needs to sort of step in and help out musicians?
I think there
In
is-
Australia?
Yeah, I think there's an element to that. I mean, at the end of the day, there's kind of only so many people that can, and you know, I've seen it work in other places that I visit to write music too. Like that does help. I mean, you've got stats for it too, but
Well, I'm going to play some devil's advocate really quick.
go on.
So I'm going to be that guy. Critics of the scheme have obviously slammed it, but they partly put it down to this idea that it's much harder to define what musicians' work looks like. You know, it's as opposed to say someone going to an office and doing traditional 9 to 5, where there's like set KPIs. What do you make of those criticisms?
I think it's, you know, they're smart remarks. I mean, of course, there's grey areas to everything creative, but I can imagine a world where like funds were put into community hubs around Sydney, for example, that I think we used to have a lot more of. If speaking from personal experience, like 5 of our last studios have all been turned into real estate, like apartments. And it's like, so we're
5?
the last 5 studios we have had are now apartments. So it's like, we're not just losing financial, you know, buffer, but we're losing the communities that make things happen. And I think being around community and in music and connecting all of those people together is great for people to get jobs. And I think the right people will make the right moves with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be people that are using it for
Of course.
the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like everything.
But-
I just want to touch that studio point again. So if we use that as an anecdote, there are just less studios per capita now than there ever has been.
I
Than
don't.
there has been recently.
Yeah, I mean, I just know that
Or are you just specifically very unlucky?
we could be.
I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's definitely less, surely.
Are they all
than when we
Sydney-based,
started.
these studios?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I probably can count 5 that have been turned. I know our one in St. Peter's and Leichhardt are definitely flats right now, and 301, which we used to work out of, is flats. I mean, I get it. Real estate's expensive here.
But do you also think that a stipend like this could lead to other players in the industry that artists rely on for income, so like streaming, radio, venues, etc., to be exploitative if artists are getting this stipend?
Oh, that they pay out even
do we
less.
need to pay them as much?
Oh. Ooh, don't give him that
not
idea.
just a millionaire.
yeah. Shush.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've talked about like in songwriting sessions, like having like a stipend, like every time you go into a room to write a song.
And there are artists across the world, you know, superstars that are sort of being very vocal about this.
Yeah.
And how it's important.
I think the value of your time and showing up, and I think there's almost a barrier to entry on that too. It's like who gets to determine who's good enough.
Well, it's also like
we provide value to the label.
Who decides what work is?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If we want to really go there, like, do we need to re-examine society as a whole?
Yeah.
Could do.
Perhaps.
So there's some things we should rethink.
I mean,
why
why
there's some
not?
stuff that maybe we should
I feel like
take
we've had
back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we've had it this way for a while.
Turn it on and off again.
Yeah.
But one thing we are not going to take back to the drawing board because it's a perfect idea is our final segment of this podcast. It's called Message in a Bottle. So this message has been, God, I hope it comes out. This message has been left by the guest before you.
Nice.
And they have a question that I have not read.
Oh, nice.
That they want you two to answer. They didn't know who they were writing it for.
Okay.
If you could just read it aloud, please.
Yeah,
And answer it as best you can.
Hello. Please go. Did I say around? Yeah, around.
Yeah.
Around and tell each other your favorite thing about each other.
Or ask them for their secret skill.
Wow.
Oh.
It's giving adorable.
And iconic.
Iconic.
The floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. So
Secret skill or
secret
something
skill.
you like.
Yeah.
You
I feel
like?
like secret skill is a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
What are you good at? That no one knows.
Don't
Surfing?
think too hard. Okay,
Is that, surfing. I'm going to go with
Secret?
surfing. Yeah, I don't
Get on my
know.
Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Secret. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
I think a secret skill for you. I mean, this is new for me, but I mean, it is public. It is just public knowledge this week. But you're, I feel like, a really great boulderer.
I have started. Yeah. I've started this year getting into it. I've wanted to do it for
evolving
ages.
from like regular rock climbing.
No, just from zero, from
Sending it.
maybe a ladder every once in a while,
Okay.
but yeah,
Now you're-
exactly.
now you're there.
Now I'm just a couple of sporty guys over here. Yeah.
So surfing, and honestly, you really had to think about that. So I'm not sure how good of a surfer are you? If you had to rate yourself out of 10.
Oh, that's like the scare. That's like asking. Yeah, that's a tough question. I would
It's almost as if I'm
say,
here to ask questions.
yeah, the tough ones to grade my own surfing ability. Oh, 7.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 as well.
Wow.
If
Maybe.
10 is professional.
Oh, 10 is professional.
No, it's 7.
6.8.
It's
6.8.
7.
I can stand up and I have more than one surfboard. Maybe that's is that a
There we
qualification?
go.
Yeah, I should have said owning surfboards. Secret skill.
Well, there we go. But there is a second part to this message in a bottle sequence. And then you guys have to write the message for the next guest.
Now you can
Okay.
write the question that you
no.
were almost expecting to read.
Yeah.
Well, while Jack
Figures out.
tries really hard to scroll his message in a bottle up, thank you both for stopping by today.
Thank
It has
you.
been
Thank you.
absolute
Yeah.
delight. Some Kind of Alchemy, congratulations. It's an absolute incredible body of work. I really, really loved it.
Thank you.
Could you, maybe not Jack, because Jack's still struggling with the scroll.
Yeah.
But Alex, if you could direct the lovely people at home where to
Yep.
find Mansionair on all the socials and all the
At
good
the
stuff.
camera.
Yes.
Straight to the people.
Right down the barrel.
Yeah. We are Mansionair on Instagram. Correct?
Correct.
Mansionair on Facebook.
Also correct.
Also correct. And Mansionair on Spotify and Apple Music and all the things.
There we are. They've been a band for
Yep.
10 years and still not too sure on those Instagram handles. But maybe next time you come back to this podcast, you'll have it down.
Alex
Yeah.
downloads Instagram every time we do a post to check it.
Yeah, if they need to, if they're like, hey, can you check this thing? I'm like, App Store.
What's my App
Can
Store
you let
password?
me in?
Yeah, the amount of
You got the
text.
verification code.
Yeah, that's probably the bane of Jack's
Oh, look,
existence.
we don't all need bad mental health for being on social
Yeah,
media.
yeah,
One
yeah.
person should take it.
Yeah.
MUSICbible Australia is a Val Morgan digital production and part of the LADbible Australia network. Make sure to hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss an episode. And if you like what you hear, rate us 5 stars and tell your friends to tune in.